Hi, Matthew with Forex-Nation.com. I've got a video here to go over the trade setups that my system provided me with. I hope that it helps you to kind of understand the system that I teach, as well as how you can make money in the Forex market. Basically, the first trade setup that we had happened on Monday when this initial huge downward push caused me to start watching for a crossover on our alligator. The crossover did not happen here, and had you gotten in here, you would have been sorely disappointed as price action rallied against you considerably to this point. You actually waited for the crossover and would have jumped in on this candlestick. This is the hour that you would have jumped in on. Had you done that, price action did actually go against us a little bit. It was kind of a scary time. It was 12 pips against us and like 1 pip for us. But that's where trust in your strategy comes into play. I stuck with that trade. I had my stop loss set up here above 2 forms of resistance. And that trade did eventually pay out. As you can see all the way down to here, I think I made about 70 pips on the trade. I entered here. And I got out when it reached support, which initially was not where the line is right now. It was actually right here. Because this is where I initially had the support line at the time due to these 2 swing points. And swing points are important points in price action. Whenever you see price action reach a level, stall out, and go back in the opposite direction, especially more than once, you have yourself a form of resistance or support depending on which direction it's going. So I had my line here. So I traded down to here and took profit. I also thought, well, now that we're in a ranging market, and I know we're in a ranging market because right now economic data is very slow and thin and minor. There's not a lot of big reports out there moving price action. Right now, you would expect to see ranging markets. So I figured this support line was still a decent line to trust in, and I actually entered on this candlestick going in the opposite direction. I entered a buy on this candlestick. As you can see, what happened, it went up, right? And then all of a sudden the next candlestick went down. This was a surprise. Didn't expect it, but I weathered the storm because, according to my strategy, you keep your stop loss, at least have 2 forms of support or resistance between your entry and your stop loss. So since my entry was here, my first form of support in this case was the support line. My second form was this support line. This is the daily support. It's the S2 actually. And so I had my line down here. I usually put it about 8 pips above or below the line. So the line was right here. I actually had my stop loss about 8 pips, which would have been down right here. So I weathered this storm. I wasn't sure that was going to happen. It did look scary. It did look like a breakout was happening here. But that was just where bears were just unable to push the market any lower. Eventually, the bulls took back charge, and we had a decent rally. I want to say for about 50 pips or something before I got back out of this trade, where we had price action just stall out here. And then it looked like there might be a crossover going in the other direction. And just like I said initially, you would expect that. In a ranging market, you would expect up, down movements. But it didn't happen. We had some bad data coming out of Germany during the European session hours. The bulls just could not rally the market up any higher than this area right here. The data came out right here about this time, 2 a.m. Eastern time, and everything just dropped like a rock back down to our support line, which, by the way, I did adjust to account for this swing point. So once things did get down to here, this would have been my next entry. So I didn't have an entry up here. The crossover never materialized, and nothing up here said, hey, get in a sell or get in a buy. There was just no entry here. The market basically went nowhere for a long time. I waited and waited, and the market busted out down here, and I thought, I'd like to get in a sell right now, but I'm going to wait to see for a for sure signal, which I got when it reached the support line that I previously traded off of last time. At this point, I entered on this candlestick, got into a buy, paid off handsomely. Things went up very well. I got out on this candlestick once things got up to the daily R2 for a profit of about, I want to say, 90 pips, although this is showing 108. I think I got out a little earlier, like right in here, once things got overextended according to my envelope. which I'll go over in another lesson. So right now where we stand, I've got these two trend lines drawn in here, and let me show you what they're about. This initial trend line, this upper one, this one goes all the way back to January where this whole downtrend momentum started. But I keep constantly having to move that thing. I'm trusting it less and less. I have a more recent trend line right here drawn from back the first week in February. This thing has contained the last two rallies that we've had, so I'm trusting this one a little bit more. And as you can see, it's still containing the current rally that we're seeing, but I'm not placing a trade off of it just yet. If it does actually turn out to confirm the currency price action can't move above this line, then I'm going to trust in this as my trend line. And as you can see, we have a triangular consolidation occurring right here where, you know, we've got the base of the triangle and the what is that, the hypotenuse of the triangle going on here. Usually what you would expect is things to kind of bounce, and then break out, going back in the direction of the actual main trend. So that's what I'm looking for to happen, but of course it all depends on what's going on fundamentally. We have some big reports coming out on Friday with core retail sales coming out. So look for that on Friday. Tomorrow the unemployment claims are coming out too. So a little bit of data to look for. Hope this helped. Website's Forex-Nation.com, by the way, if you're viewing this video elsewhere. Good luck to you.